Hey there YouTube, it's JP Dunphy, your BMW genius here at BMW Fort Washington. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you about basically the quirks and features that are part of iDrive 8 as people have made transitions from the iDrive 7 of the previous few years into the newer iDrive 8 setup, and how to kind of make that transition for people that are new to BMW or those who are used to iDrive 7 and just sort of like, why would I make the change to iDrive 8? So with that, let's dive in. Alright, so for this particular demonstration of BMW's iDrive 8 and its functions and features, I'm going to be using our iX as our demo car to kind of show you the basics of where BMW is going as it goes forward. And I guess where I want to start first and foremost would be right down here. So this is our gear selector. This is going to be coming out a lot more BMWs as we go forward. If you didn't know it already, BMW, even with iDrive 7 versions and their latest iterations, they have a digital stick anyway, as the one that's stuck up and you pull down. Same concept right here. The only difference that you'll notice is there's no park brake, or no park feature itself. So the way it works in this is you start it up like normal, so foot's on the brake, all that jazz. And then when you start it up and put it in gear, you have your gear, light bump up for neutral, again for reverse. But you notice that there's no park. So the question becomes, how do you put it in park? So with these newer ones, the easiest way to put it in park is to simply press stop. That activates the park and automatically turns on the park brake. You can change that up if you want to, which actually leads us to the next little thing I kind of want to show and talk about. Is you'll notice a lot of the cars as they go forward now have the burger menus. I call that because, you know, you got the bun, burger, and bun. So burger menus. You got a couple of these in the car. So you have one right here. You have another one right over here. You have one on the lights down here. And you have one on your lights up here. So what these mean, these are kind of like the get all menus. So for instance, this is your driving menu. So when we hit that, we get all of our drive settings, things like our driver's assistance, drivetrain, and charging options. Now inside the drivetrain is where you'll find some of the things that you can do here. So like for instance, I was telling you earlier, you can have the park brake automatically turn on, and you can do that from right here. Ta-da! So you can have it automatically turn on the park brake. If you don't want that, you can just simply unclick that, and that will make that go away. So yeah. You got that menu. Another menu you have over here is your light menu. So when you give this a click, it pulls up your lighting. You have automatic parking lights. This, again, all your exterior lights. And then this one up here is your interior lighting. So when you give this guy a press, bloop, all your interior lighting options come up here. Again, this is what used to be, if you remember iDrive 7, it was found underneath car. Now it's found under menu and quote-unquote car, vehicle apps. So this is where you get things like your interior lighting, exterior lighting. These are just shortcuts to those particular options on here. So that's how they started to set that up here. Everything else on here is very similar to how iDrive 7 was set up. Only difference being, instead of having multiple views here, because it is a longer screen, they're making it a single scroll option for that. Of course, it's all completely adjustable, so simply press and hold and then readjust for wherever you want, whatever you want, wherever you want it. So these are also live tiles as they go around. This is a new one, the Q Clock 2, or Clock 2. Basically just uses words. It's 20 to 12. Well, a little more than that, but they generalize it. Anywho, so they got that. Another thing that's worth knowing, seats. So as of right now, the newer ones, they only have massage seats for the driver only until the chip shortage gets out of set, which is why you only get that for the driver. Touch the passenger seat, you see you got a couple options. They do have presets over there. Passenger can access their own by simply pressing that one. That pulls up this side of the menu for them. Yeah. So that's really that. Another thing that's going to be worth kind of going over when you're making the transition from iDrive 7 to iDrive 8 is your main display right here. Now this guy's completely adjustable and customizable to whatever you want. In iDrive 7, it was basically set to whether you're in Comfort, Sport, or Eco Pro. That kind of changed it up to whatever it was. You do still have those same basic options when you change your My modes or drive modes from right here. So for instance, if I hit this over into sport mode, it does change to a sport setting, and there are certain things that you cannot change within here, with the exception of things like your center bit, like what you get in the center. And of course, head-up display is always there. But of course, with those, the main one you'll want to do to get those is using personal. That allows you to have the most customization. You do so by pressing this little button here, or for one of the crossover ones, you have the center menu button like we had in the i4 and the normal series ones. But when you press this guy right here, this is when you get all of your options. Using the little guy right here, you can move it between up and down, side to side, between your menus. So you basically have your content, which is of course that center section, what shows in the center for your settings, or nothing altogether, so just simply getting speed. One of my personal favorites is this guy, the range prediction. If you didn't see, I do have another video on that. Also, importantly, if you did want to see the iDrive 7 one, so if you don't have iDrive 8 in your car, you're new to BMW, be sure to check out the little video link up here in the corner. I'll be sure to link that for you, so you can get that checked out for yourself as well. Anywho, back to this. Another thing you can do right here is your basic layout. So you have 3 layouts altogether. This is your common layout, you have your sport layout, and then you have your efficiency layout. Efficiency is one of my personal favorites because I love when you get the gigantic map in the middle. It just makes me happy, like that. Also, one major change, if you haven't seen my other videos about this, now Apple CarPlay and Android Auto's Google Maps show over here, not just in your main screen right here. You still, of course, get your turn-by-turn in the head-up display. If you didn't know, the head-up display is about 20% bigger than previous versions, giving you lots of fun stuff. Another little quirk of iDrive 8, so not every car gets this, but for the newer ones with something called Service Pack 21, they can receive an interior camera. Super cool, especially for security on the inside. And let me run outside real quick and show you this. So on the outside, something that BMW is doing is showing a full 4K cameras in the front here. There you go. Sorry about the glare on this guy, but yes, that is basically that. Also this one, I'm not sure if you can tell from the glare here, but they do have a UVA and infrared protection. You can see the film right there. It kind of cuts down over and back up over there. Quick note, if you are getting any of the cars with the UVA, UVB, and infrared protection, when you're looking at from the inside, you can see again that very blatant line that goes through here. If you're mounting an Easy Pass, be sure to mount it in this area or in this corresponding area right here, so that way it's measured for Easy Pass setup. If you don't do that, it's not going to show up and you'll get the charges. So, just keep that in mind. All right, come here, wakey. All right then. So yeah, aside from that, those are really the main things I wanted to touch on, is the fact that you have now the different landing options, which are linked to menus that you get inside the car itself. The car now has 2 different ways of doing apps. So you have apps that you can find that are part of the car itself, as well as extensions to your phone, things like Spotify, all those different connections. And then you have the vehicle apps itself, which used to be underneath the car and settings options. These are all the ones that are in there: BMW ID, personal assistant, charging, comfort seats, live vehicle, and of course they still have system settings as well. This is all the same stuff you'll be seeing in iDrive 7, just a slightly updated look altogether. So yeah, with that, that's sort of just the quick dive into the little tiny differences that might be a big headache if you're making the transition from iDrive 7 to iDrive 8 or are not used to the iDrive 8 setup yet. But yeah. Oh, one thing that'll be especially fun, a little bonus, this little guy right here. Yeah. It's all just simple touch. So there's no more button here. These are all touch features. So like one touch for reading lights. And of course, if I look back at the building here and press this little guy right here, you'll see we see nothing. Oh, look, there's the building. Bye-bye, building. Womp womp. Yeah, that's fun. Not entirely sure exactly which vehicles will get that particular setup. Obviously, it's going to be anything with a set roof. From what I understand, they're not going to be doing this as of yet with any kind of actual opening roof. That might change the future, but, until we know, we don't know until we know. With that, that is basically all we can show in here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing. Yeah, nothing's coming to mind. Anywho, yeah, in case you can't tell, I do these things off the cuff here. I'm not scripted like some people. I always feel like that's fun, but then it just gets too stale. And oh, sorry, major thing. I really should have brought this up. So climate. So now, because we don't have hard buttons down here anymore, except for your defrost buttons, everything for your climate control is now inside here. One other change that they did for this, especially if you get the radiant heating package or the ventilated seats, they now have multiple step for the heating and cooling things. So, you know, seats usually were level 1, 2, and 3, and then steering wheel is either on or off. Well, now the steering wheel has 1, 2, 3, 4 settings all together. Likewise, your radiant heating, 1, 2, 3, 4. Seating, 1, 2, 3, 4. In case you can't see the trend here, ventilation, 4 altogether as well. If you decide you don't want it to be in auto, you can simply touch auto on and off by touching up here in the corner. And then you have your different settings here. You can say whether you want dynamic or balanced. Dynamic changes it based on what you're trying to get out of it. So if you have it super cold, it knows where to put it. You can have it be balanced, so it just feels more, well, balanced. And then if you want to take manual control, you can cycle through everything by going through those. You do have to turn it off altogether to get the full cycling that you're used to normally. Otherwise, auto only has 2 modes, balanced and dynamic. Of course, you have the sync button right here. Everything on here, if you do want it, you can just simply press and hold and add shortcuts. And last but not least, your hotkeys are now part of a pull-down menu. You unfortunately don't get this in Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You will have to back out to the main menu to be able to get access to these if you want. Or another thing they're really pushing for is more use of voice controls. So, yes, that should be the greatest mood altogether. And yeah, those are the really main ones that I really want to touch on here. If you guys do want to see any other stuff or want me to cover any other features that you may have seen in previous videos, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to help out in any way I possibly can. I'm still waiting for one of our Bowser and Wilkins cars to come in here, because I really want to show you that over the Harman Kardon. But until that happens, I'll make a separate video on that altogether. And if you found these guys helpful, please remember all the usuals: like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, we can't do this without you at all. I especially can't do this without you. I'm a one-man operation here for this YouTube channel, so I appreciate all you guys that, you know, subscribe, all the subscribers. You know, we are nothing without you guys, so thank you so much for everything you do. And if you're not subscribed, which I know about 97% of the people that watch these videos are not, please consider subscribing. It helps us and allows us to bring you more content. It makes us get better equipment, so I'm not using my iPhone to do this, because we don't have too much in terms of what we can use. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Again, thanks so much for being with us. If you found this helpful, like, comment, share, subscribe. And till the next one, keep on motoring, everyone. Great to be with you.